The way you're explaining it to me, you're making it seem like it was an accident.
No, it wasn't.
So was it an accident or not?
I just don't know what she wants. Like, she's spreading her legs at me. Like, what do you want me to do? And like, she's spreading her whole at me, like at least 4 or 5 times.
What is wrong with you? All right. So this is a life case, honestly.
All right, everyone. Today we're covering an absolutely shocking case. We're talking about a man who committed horrific acts against his own child. Yes, you heard that right. It's one of the most disturbing things I've come across, and Judge Boyd doesn't hold back in telling this guy just how vile and reprehensible his actions are. But here's the question. How does someone even begin to justify hurting a child? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts, so drop them in the comments. Let's get into it.
Have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Defense?
Jason Goss for Mr. Villamel.
And are you Mr. Villamil?
Yes.
Are you going to have to speak up so I can hear?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Villamil, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we are proceeding on count 3 and waiving counts 1 and 2.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of aggravated sexual assault of a child? That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years in prison and life and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your
No.
Counsel, has your client had a chance to confer with an immigration attorney?
Honor. I have conferred with an immigration attorney. I have informed him that a plea to this is, he's actually a permanent resident. A plea to this would be a certain denial of future permanent residency and deportation after serving a prison sentence, which is what he's pleading to.
All right. Mr. Vial, did your counsel advise you of the consequences of pleading no contest or guilty in the application of federal immigration law?
What was that again? Sorry.
I said, did your attorney advise you of the consequences of entering a plea in this cause number, either no contest or
Yes.
guilty, and how that applies to federal immigration law?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did that advice include possible consequences such as deportation, exclusion from the United States, or the denial of naturalization?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the consequences of that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial? Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Sir.
According to the plea, you're pleading on count 3. Punishment is to be assessed at 15 years in the prison. There are no applications. There's to be no contact with the complainants, and there's Chapter 62 compliance. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Here's my question, because I see that affirmative finding of family violence has been crossed through. Is this
Exactly.
complainant his relative or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes.
Showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
I know we offer state's exhibit number 1 and all attachments.
Okay.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty.
This case is absolutely wild, easily one of the most disturbing I've ever covered. And this guy, he's sitting there like he's waiting at the DMV, not standing trial in a courtroom, just staring at the floor, mumbling out one-word answers like saying Your Honor is beneath him. The level of disrespect is unreal. Dude, you're literally fighting for your freedom, and a date, this is the energy you're bringing? No remorse, no effort, just the bare minimum. Thankfully, Judge Boyd saw right through the act and found him guilty. But here's the real question. Will she accept his plea deal, or is she about to drop something way heavier? Let's find out if he just sabotaged his own sentence.
What he has pled to is a single count of a single time of sexual assault of a child, which is aggravated sexual assault of a child. He has agreed to do this early on in his process. He is not contesting his guilt, and he is not contesting what's going on. He's agreed to go to prison, and 15 years is a substantial amount of time.
State, why should I accept
Your
this
Honor,
agreement?
Your Honor, the child is very young. She's in therapy right now. I discussed it with the mother. And this is, there is a desire to get closure early on in this case, Your Honor.
So
At this point, we haven't had to
penetration, but from reading this,
He didn't say that. I said it because
Okay.
I was just talking about the legal issues
Yeah.
with that. So
but I mean, having a child having her brother lick his,
that was something that I think was determined that did not happen.
well, she says that he asked her to lick his.
That's a different one. Yes.
What is wrong with you?
Well, Your Honor, I'm not trying to like beat around the bush. She was showing me her crotch, and that's.
And you got turned on.
No, I didn't. I'm telling you, I'm not like physically like. Well, I did get turned on, but not. Well, after a while, she just kept doing that. Tell her not. You know what I mean? Like,
So you blaming a 6-year-old?
I'm not blaming my 6-year-old.
Your Honor, my client was sexually abused when he was a child. Offender, almost certainly be deported. He'll never live. He's been in this country since he was 2 years old. He will never live in this country again legally, and he will.
So
have to
he's
live
being released after he does his time, released to go somewhere else and deal with his trauma that may result in him and some other child?
Well, he has what he is hoping to do is, as you know, the TDCJ system offers a pretty comprehensive sex offender counseling and treatment. And of course, you know, he will at some point be wanting to go on parole. He knows that he's going to have to complete that to do that. We have talked about it, explained it. He's going to take the opportunity to do that, as well as other programs that are offered in TDCJ. He is motivated to do that. And you know, at some point when he is released, as I said, he's going to go to a country that he has basically never lived in his entire life.
What country would that be?
Mexico.
They have nice beaches there.
I've got to say, I really respect Judge Boyd, and in this case, she absolutely gets it right. Who cares if this guy has to be sent to another country? He violated a child. He did the unthinkable. And now he has to face the consequences. If it were up to me, 15 years wouldn't even come close to what he deserves. He's destroyed a 6-year-old's life, possibly forever. In my opinion, that should mean life in prison. We need to be much tougher on sex offenders. The harm they cause is permanent and indescribable. This kind of behavior can't be brushed off. People who do this don't deserve a second chance. They've already stolen someone else's future.
As you were molesting her, you were molesting her in such a way because you didn't want her to hurt her?
No, I asked her, you can put this in your mouth. That's it. And she said no. I said, that's fine. Okay, that's it.
No, this is a penetration.
Your Honor, if what he has pled to is, and what he confessed to is by penetrating the anus with his finger.
Mm-hmm.
And he had told the police when they asked him that he told the police that he did that at the time, which is another thing. He was honest with the police. He told them what he did. You know, and at this point, we're asking for this because we have agreed early on not to leave this on a docket, not to go through the process, not to have his daughter have to come in and, as the prosecutor said, be traumatized by this, and he's going to lose his freedom for up to 15 years and for a minimum of 7.5. But as the court knows, parole doesn't happen like that for these cases. They're doing 75-85% of their time. And so he's lost his freedom for more than a decade. He has done a horrible thing, and there's nothing that he can say right now that can explain that. I think the court's questions of him, how he has confessed to you and now that he has done it. And what
No, he pled no contest.
He pled no contest because I advised it because there's a civil case going on, but that's a legal advice that he was getting from his lawyer.
I understand, but he pled no contest. So again, we're back to what were you thinking? Because I'm trying to figure out where you're coming from to figure out whether I should follow this plea or not.
Sorry, Your Honor, I didn't do it. I didn't do it to like hurt my daughter. I tried. I'm begging and telling you, please. I'm telling you, please. I'm not trying to.
The way you're explaining it to me, you're making it seem like it was an accident.
No, it wasn't
So was it an accident or not? Because you're telling me you just grabbed her and you're making it seem like your finger just accidentally penetrated that.
thing is, I just don't know what she wants. Like, she's spreading her legs at me. Like, what do you want me to do? And like, she's spreading her whole at me, like at least 4 or 5 times, dropping her pants. Like, literally, like, it's not like I'm telling you like my actions were right.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out where you are mentally. And yes.
So if I grab my daughter's and I throw her on the bed and I didn't like forcefully sleep.
We all see exactly what this guy is. Trying to pull, acting like none of this is his fault, when it's crystal clear that it absolutely is. He's a complete monster, and the fact that he's even trying to dodge responsibility is unreal, blaming his own child for the horrific crime he committed. That's beyond twisted. There's no question. He deserves life in prison. No excuses. No sympathy. The fact that he's trying to play the victim here is just disgusting. It's like he really thinks people are going to believe his lies. But no, we're not falling for it. He needs to be held fully accountable. Period.